Hi there. Today I'd like to share Pegasus pose, one of my favorites. To me, it was the transition pose between aerial yoga and aerial dance. Sometimes in aerial dance, you'll hear it called thigh hitch, but I think that's a really boring name, so I always call it Pegasus. In aerial yoga, you might know it as flying warrior. Let's start with the drill from the floor, because one of the hardest parts about this pose is trust. We need to lean backwards, which can feel a bit like falling for beginners. So let's lean back on your elbows, legs in front of you, chest lifting tall. Now imagine we're standing on the hammock. Pretend you're standing on your right foot, and now try to bring your leg up. This is pretty challenging, right? Unless you can do an easy standing split, it's going to make life harder than it needs to be. Pegasus is a straddle. So open that standing foot away from you, and now bring your leg out wide to the side, towards your shoulder. Practice 2, straight, and bend over the fabric. Straighten, bend over, straight, and bend 2 more, straight, and bend, last one. And let's try the other side. So again, open your standing foot away from you, 45-degree angle, and then wide to the side, we straight and bend, straight and bend. Last one, and done. So if that was tough for you, please do a bit more hamstring stretching. If your legs are tight, it's going to limit your range of motion, making this more difficult for you. Now let's try one more warm-up on the hammock. So with your fingers over the top like you're pushing a bicycle, put your foot right up and over so the hammock is nicely under your arch. Check that you're underneath your rigging point so that you don't swing, and send your hands super high. From here, we'll come up to standing, squeezing your butt. This will help you to protect your knees. With hands overhead, both feet on, we're going to do a triangle pose. So you're going to try and push both feet apart. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze your butt here, and let the feet slide back together. Again, you can have the hands higher, will help you feel more stable. If they're lower than head height, you might feel like falling backwards. If it's a little too hard to do both feet at the same time, simply send one foot higher and then squeeze your booty, push the other foot apart. Here's your triangle. As you stop squeezing your butt, the feet slide back together. Let's go one more time, adding a squat. 1, 2, 3. And try to send the knees wide to the side. Your legs should shake here. It's really tough. And stand back up. Don't let the knees drop in. Push them out towards the poles. Toes pushing forward. And let's come down, holding tight. Release. Kick one foot forward and come down to sitting. We'll use 3 different foot positions to help you find the one that works best for you. Toes pointing forward. Toes pointing backwards, and a foot wrap. Fingers over the top. Keep it neat under your feet. With hands nice and high, come to standing, and the standing foot's gonna open more to the side. You can practice sitting on for the first few times. Never let go of the hand over your hammock foot. From here, other hand about head level, as you slide your bum forward off the fabric. And then push with your hand, bend your knee. Do you see your straddle? Simply bend your knee here, hold high, and squeeze your butt to protect your knees coming up. This is why in aerial yoga we would call it flying warrior. Looks like your warrior 2 pose. This loop, this thigh hitch, takes a while to get used to. If you feel the tears coming, we've all been there. Breathe through it. Happy face. And let's come down Keeping your shoulders behind, you're going to land your butt where your foot is. If you're stuck, bend your looped leg, and this will release the wrap. Both hands on the free leg side as you unwrap the foot, finishing with hands in your lap. Now this time I'll try to demo facing away from you so you can see the placement of the fabric around my waist. Ideally, we're not sitting on the hammock for this pose. That's a bit dangerous. You can slip out if your legs go loose, if you lose your grip. So, starting with one foot on, hands super high. Trying not to spin. As I start to spin, let me come down. As I send my standing foot away from me, I want to feel the hammock on both sides of my waist. I feel it here, and I feel it up in my armpit. So I'm going to use this hand to push it down to my waist, and then bend the leg over. This leg super straight, this hand holding for safety. Squeeze my butt, come to standing. From here, I'm closing the loop under my butt. And there is your thigh hitch. If you keep this leg active, lifting the heel up, we should be able to float. So please hold on in case you sink. As you lift this foot, we should stay in the air. My arm's not really working too much. Close the rope. Make sure both armpits are behind, both legs are in front. As we come down, lift your wrapped knee up. Sitting on the hammock, both hands to the free leg side. Finish. Now, of course, we want to try both sides, but some people might find this much easier on one leg than the other. So one thing we can do is change the way that standing foot is positioned. So again, let's come up to standing. Currently, we've been keeping the toes pointing forward, sorry for spinning, sliding it to the side. This is actually perfect. I'm going to take my toes, point them backwards. This is a pedal press. And then the fabric's going to go behind me. Some people find this method much easier. Again, push it out of your armpit as you lean back, push, trust, and get this foot over. Hold over the leg as you bring yourself up. Your flying warrior. If pedal press still felt a little bit insecure for you, we can try the most wrapped version for the standing foot. So let's come back. So again, pedal press, the leg was on the inside. We turned the toes to point backwards, and then we stepped on the hammock. This time, we're going to send the leg all the way out the back, tree pose, passe, and then point the toes backwards. When I step on the hammock, now it's so wrapped around my leg, I can completely let go the hands, as long as it's around my waist. When I come up, hands high, squeeze my butt. Protect your knee. The only problem now is we have this big wrap on the foot. So you're going to have to pull up and kick it off. If we come down with the hammock between your legs, be careful, especially gentlemen flyers. Lean towards the wrap. And exit out the front.